we talk about spreading the actual compost over the whole vineyard and the amount that you'd require, this is a way of getting the effectiveness of that compost around a larger area with not as much cost.
In conventional viticulture, there's a tendency to use chemical fertilisers, and if you just say put out like a nitrogen spray on your vineyard, what it can do is it can make a rush of or a flush of green growth, which is soft and just lovely lush growth comes shooting up. It can actually be a little bit of a welcome sign to the pests and things. They think, wow, here's a big feed, let's go. They go in there and attack that. And then the cure to that is, let's get a pesticide and go out there and nuke it. With biodynamics, or this sort of life in the soil approach, we're getting the biology in the soil that's actually exchanging nutrients with the plant. The plant exudes these exudates, which are little sugar carbohydrate food for the biology, and the biology is exchanging nutrients with the plant. So the plant's getting just enough and a balanced amount of nutrition so that it doesn't have these rushes of green growth. When it's got the right balanced nutrition, pest and disease won't attack it. Most people understand what organics is because it's non-using chemicals and not using chemical fertilisers and pesticides, etc. Biodynamics is the same in that respect. Most important difference is that we use the biodynamic preparations like the 500 and the 501, which is the cow horn manure, and the silica that's been buried in cow horns over summer, and also that important cosmic timing, like when the moon's in front of the different constellations or when the moon's in ascension or descension. So it's the timing of the application of these preparations and the use of these preparations is primarily the main difference between organic and biodynamic. It's, to me, it feels like it's a more working with nature and the powers of nature and placing more importance on that aspect of the approach to agriculture. This is our spider on white. We do a red and a white. It's a little family bit of fun that we have in the vineyard. At the end of vintage, we sort of take unsuspecting visitors through the vineyard when it's full of spider webs and scare the daylights out of them. But so we named it that to just celebrate something that's special from the vineyard. And what this is we feel is a true expression of Krinklewood white wine. It's made with the three varieties that we grow, the whites, the Semillon, Verdelho and Chardonnay. The wine is co-fermented. Even though we pick the Semillon, the Verdelho earlier than the Chardonnay, we keep the juice cool and don't let the ferment start until we've picked the Chardonnay. We put the Chardonnay together with the other juice from the other two whites, put it in old French oak, and we co-ferment it in old French oak, and it's our attempt at making Chablis. So it's Krinklewood Chablis. So it's lovely and crisp and dry and has a lovely line that Semillon gives it, and the oak is very subtle because it's old. It's probably four-year-old French oak. But I'm sort of continually on the internet looking at stories from different vineyards, and more often than not French. And there's one guy that I came across, French vigneron called Nicolas Joly, who wrote a book called Wine from the Sky. So I got this book on Amazon and tried to read it, and I found it very hard to understand. But it really fascinated me, so I took myself off to Steiner School and learned about biodynamics. Well, this is our rosé. We've named it after our granddaughter, whose name is Francesca. We planted a variety specifically to make a French-style rosé, a variety called Mourvèdre, which comes from south of France. And it's, as far as we know, it's the only Mourvèdre that's grown in the Hunter Valley. And we try and get the colour to be as light as possible. When we crush the grapes, we crush the grapes and take the juice off the skin straight away. So we get less colour pickup and we get less tannins we've got to manage, and it's just a lovely style, fresh. We ferment it like we would, say, an unwooded Chardonnay. It's fermented dry. Most rosés have got quite a high level of sweetness. It's dry, which makes it a fantastic wine with food. Sitting in the sun, plate of tuna noir, and you're on your way to heaven. Workers in the vineyard have noticed the difference, that sort of there's things like little ladybirds crawl over their hands when they're pruning. The vineyard's alive with things, which is just great. It's the way I feel that we try and achieve a natural, pure product that's a true expression of the uniqueness of this Krinklewood vineyard. We've got this wonderful environment. That's our way of trying to get that experience into the bottle. It's not influenced by any imported chemicals and fertilisers and adjustments to the soil. It's just enhancing the life in the soil, and letting this biology do all the work for us.